Well, McCluck, I guess congratulations are in order.
What do you mean?
Well, you managed to run through an entire season of a show.
Is this my life now? Hit it! Well, since ranting's my game, let's start with the ending.
A very unusual place to start?
I want to get that out of the way first. The story doesn't end. Spoilers. Sure, there's been talk of a second season for ages, but it hasn't been renewed as of this review, but the script, such as it is, has definitely been designed to continue, leaving the audience in a very unsatisfying place, dangling us with no proper resolution for, what, a year or two until maybe a continuation will be offered to us? Anyway, let's get back to the start.
I've been waiting there for you all along.
Don't expect a play-by-play because I'm going to be jumping back and forth a lot. But first and foremost, if you're thinking about what should have happened, as opposed to what we saw to make the story happen, they've captured all the robot children, right?
Yep, they're all in a cage together.
But why put them in a cage? I mean, putting them together is absurd in the first place. But even more absurd is, why not just switch them off? They're machines. We saw in an earlier episode that the engineers can disconnect their senses if they so please, and even erase memories. Just switch the bloody things off already and you'll have no containment breach issues.
That would be too easy.
Don't tell me I'm cleverer than a boy genius who created a fully grown android when he was 6.
Shades of Anakin Skywalker, eh?
It's even more absurd than that. You could almost believe that Anakin made C-3PO out of junk. Here, we're told his father was a factory worker, so where and how did a child manage to afford the tools, equipment, and materials to build such a machine?
Maybe he somehow stole it all through the internet or something.
Okay, I could buy that, but then why would his dad have to work in a factory then? They could have enjoyed the life of Riley. It makes zero sense.
You keep saying that through all these reviews.
That's because it doesn't. None of it does. Like the xenomorph, which has now been completely tamed, making it so uninteresting it's just a pet now.
Well, it is something new we haven't seen before in an alien story.
Put that to the side for a second. The thing cannot die. It cannot get wounded. After a while, it gets really boring. Like at the start of this episode. It finds Sylvia, who's putting flowers on the children's graves. There's a xenomorph on the loose and she just wanders around on her own. Anyway, it doesn't kill her. It just stares at her.
Xenomorphs tend to do that.
Yeah, okay, fine. But then it gets shot by a platoon and runs away. So, where's the wound? There's no acid anywhere.
We do see blood. Maybe it bleeds blood now.
Please. Although, to be fair, it's not clear if it's it or the people it's killed, because no matter how well armed you are, and how many of you they are, the thing just kills everyone and the bullets just bounce off. Aliens, this ain't. After a while, this becomes a snooze fest. There's no tension, like, at all.
There was tension when the eye octopus went for Joe.
Yes, granted, for a few seconds, we wondered if it might not just manage to trade places. But no, and to make things worse, once the eye octopus slithers away, the tension's completely gone. Joe and Macy don't look for it wondering where it is. They didn't see it escape. As far as they're concerned, it's in the room with them right now and it could strike at any second. So they just chat and make up. Again, where's the tension?
The lawyer being the robot Cavalier built when he was a kid was a surprise.
It was probably the best surprise of the entire show. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not that good. There's always a fine line between genius and preposterousness, but that reveal was a good one, I must admit. Now, by contrast, Marcy's electrical powers are totally off the scale. She can now control more than security feeds. She can jam frequencies, access old footage, and broadcast it at will. Set lifts on auto-destruct because, of course, lifts have auto-destruct settings in them.
It's a standard feature.
Of course it is. She can control door locks because everything's connected to the network.
Makes for great security.
And she can even control androids. It's all magic. There's zero explanation for it, but we're just supposed to accept it. It's like if your electric toothbrush started driving your car or something. It's all just ludicrous.
What about the fact Boy Cavalier's got severe ADHD?
Bringing in the most boring trope that autistic or ADHD people, or both, are the story's super geniuses. As someone suffering from both, let me tell you, it's offensive. Plus, it's lazy writing and untrue. Anyway, back to Marcy. Not only can she somehow control every electrical device on the island, but she can also communicate with the xenomorph at a distance, wherever it might be on the island.
Those clicks and shrieks are like radio signals?
But how?
Because it's a feature the writers needed?
So Marcy can control her little pet xenomorph from anywhere. Great, iridescent egg, give me strength.
And ADHD or not, Boy Cavalier isn't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Right? Not only does he not disconnect the kid robots, but he goes to see them with only a single soldier for security, doesn't evacuate before it's way too late, and really acts like nothing more than a spoiled little child who can't play with his toys. That doesn't sound like someone in charge of a multi-trillion-dollar company. He's just growing stupider by the minute.
Maybe he hasn't taken his regular dose of Tylenol.
Ha! Right. Now, there's also a bunch of strange dialogue. Take the lawyer waiting for Joe in Marcy's room, saying to him, "I've been waiting for you." How did he know it escaped? The comms are down and Marcy's jamming everything. Why did he not go and see him in his cell where, as far as he knew, is where he was supposed to be?
It's a strange thing to say, I agree, but it does sound good.
Style over substance. Like, why make soldiers walk into the room where all the creatures are, and only when they're in the middle of it, when it's clear no one else is there, do they call out if anyone's there?
Guess they had to make sure.
Why not ask from the entrance? They know how dangerous that place is, but they still go in, and when the creature's about to kill one of them, because there's always a pause before a creature strikes.
You've got to give a beat before something happens.
Why? Because IQs have dropped sharply or something? The creature's victim's armed. Why, when she sees it overhead, does she not shoot it? Why don't the others shoot it? Why do no soldier, anywhere, shoot the bloody creatures and hit them? Ever. It destroys any tension or suspense. There's just none of that. Creatures kill, and armed troops just watch on as they die. Oh, and the xenomorph is now bulletproof. No one can stop it, no matter how many times they shoot at it.
Plot armor is a wonderful thing.
I understand plot armor. I respect plot armor, to a point. And this show has gone way over the line in that respect, to the point that I just don't care anymore. The kid robots should have been switched off. The xenomorph should have been killed when he was staring at Sylvia. Paint yourself into a corner by all means, but do me the respect of coming up with a clever way to get out of it. Just because isn't clever. It's as clever as a self-destruct feature in a lift. And then we've got the eye octopus who can possess dead people.
Guess it mustn't mind the smell.
Please. Dead people are dead for a reason. There are no bioelectrical impulses in a dead body. That's why they're dead. The eye octopus is a parasite. Parasites have no use of dead bodies.
Well, the eye octopus is from another world.
The laws of physics and biochemistry apply everywhere, Commander. Parasites aren't defibrillators. This show has been so frustrating. It offered so much promise, although I must admit it being a prequel did and still does concern me, but there were so many clever ideas, like transferring your consciousness into an artificial body. You could explore so many concepts with that. All these new creatures, barely touched on those. They're just there to kill people. Oh, and speaking of, whatever happened to those blood-sucking worms? The whole show's a mess that fails to deliver on its tantalizing concepts and resorts to the absolute stupidest plot contrivances to keep whatever story it had going. Where are the good writers? What happened to them? Why aren't they being hired anymore? This last episode's called The Real Monsters. Turns out, it's those who've made this show. Right, I think that's enough for this episode and this show. Now, if you like what we do,
And how we do it.
and you feel you'd like to help us out,
Please consider joining our Patreon.
as long as you can afford it, of course.
You'll find a link to it in the description.
Thanks for watching. Do let us know what you think in the comments, and I'll give you the response you deserve. Put that to the side for a second. Put that to the side for a second. The thing cannot die.